Toolbox Killers. She made a fatal mistake. She actually trusted two men who offered her a ride. We should know who they are. It's Norris and Bittaker. 48 hours later, a jogger found her naked remains on a random front lawn in Sunland, California, posed with her legs apart. Her mutilated corpse lay in an ivy patch. In case you don't know, and I'm sure you know, no one could have imagined the horror she endured. If you guys are squeamish, this is the part where you want to turn it off. This is, again, about Roy Norris, who's 29, and 36-year-old Lawrence Bittaker, although I think they were 31 and 38 by then. Like I said, as people know, they picked up like more than 20 hitchhikers, basically put their plan together. You guys can listen to all of it, back on our Toolbox Killer show. But these two,
was William Harder.
Yep, with William Harder. They did some despicable things. Like Kevin M. Sullivan said on our show, the defense attorney who was the type, or maybe it was the prosecutor, whoever it was anti-death penalty, and once he heard what happened to them, what they did, they started crying. Both of these guys are still alive, by the way, in case you didn't know.
They are.
Now you know.
A couple losers.
Did he call them losers too?
Yeah.
They were, though. Bittaker, you wouldn't think would be a loser, though. Dude was too smart to be a loser.
Yeah, but, he's been in that jail since he's like 14.
That's very true. That's very true. Oh, Indiana. And I've got another one that's a little off the beaten path, but it's a Halloween thing. This is actually about, if I can find it, it was an explosion at the Indiana, I can't remember the name of it.
Are you in there doing work?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. That's not what's distracting me. No, I'm trying to find it. It was long. Okay, here it is. 1963 Coliseum explosion, Vic. At the Fairgrounds Coliseum on Halloween night, 1963, more than 4,000 spectators were packed into the building for a Holiday on Ice performance. Why can't you wait till after Halloween? Anyway. When during the finale there was a massive explosion, a leak in a valve supplying propane to the popcorn warmer was responsible for a blast that sent bodies flying 60 feet, killing 74 and injuring more than 400 people. This was on Halloween, Vic, in Indiana. And although more than the usual number of police officers did happen to be on duty, they expected vandalism along with other Halloween pranks. Basically, they failed. They did a shit job in this whole thing. They had to set up a makeshift morgue at the Coliseum, bodies of the victims laid out across the ice and covered in blankets. It was a fucked up situation. Like I said, when you've got 74 injured or 400 injured and 74 dead, it was a tragedy. It was a horrific crime. Again, well, it wasn't even a crime, really. It was just an accident that happened Halloween that long ago. You know what I mean? So 1963, Halloween. I'd never even heard of that. Had you ever heard of that?
Nope.
That's a lot of people to lose their lives to not know.
What part of Indiana was it?
Well, let's see. Where is the Indiana Coliseum? It's the Fairgrounds.
Is it the Indianapolis Fairgrounds?
It's where
they had a state fair?
It's where Conseco Fieldhouse is.
Okay, yeah. All right, cool.
That's fucked up. We've been there.
Yeah. I've been there a lot.
Yup. All right, let's do another one. Let's talk about a satanic cult.
Oh, I like satanic cults.
All right, let's go to Halloween, 1981, in the early hours.
Oh, I was alive, yeah.
I was not yet alive. I was on my way to being alive. Manhattan couple Ronald Sisman and Elizabeth Platzman were murdered in their Chelsea apartment. The young couple were severely beaten before being shot in the head, execution style, with the apartment completely ransacked. The police initially believed that Mr. Sisman may have known his murderer since there was no sign of forcible entry to the apartment and that drug money may have been the motive. But then the case took a turn for the bizarre. A prison informant claimed that one of his fellow inmates had predicted the crime weeks before it actually happened. The inmate turned out to be the son of Sam killer, David Berkowitz.
Oh.
Again, you guys can go back and listen to our Berkowitz episode from the summer, Summer of Sam. It was excellent. It's on Spreaker. Berkowitz had long been rumored to be involved with a satanic cult that helped him with some of the murders. According to the informant, Berkowitz had told him that his cult was planning to enter a residence near Greenwich Village, Chelsea would qualify for that, on Halloween to carry out a ritual murder. When questioned, Berkowitz claimed that Sisman had video footage of one of the Son of Sam shootings and was planning to hand it over to the authorities in exchange for dropping some drug charges, but no evidence was ever found to support Berkowitz's claims. He did, however, provide an early accurate description of Sisman's apartment. The killings are still unsolved to this day. That's fucked up, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So we talked about Berkowitz, the Toolbox Killers, and Bundy. Interesting. Halloween's just a special time. What can I say?
I love Halloween. I love everything about it. I love killing people. I love fucking razor blades and candy bars. Halloween on Military Street.
Yeah. All right. Well, this next one's called The Wrong Halloween Party. And Yoshihiro Hattori, don't get started, Vic. You know how you are.
What happened to you?
He was a Japanese exchange student living in Baton Rouge as part of the American Field Service program. On Halloween night, 1992, woohoo, I was alive, and so were you, Hattori and the young son of his host family went to a Halloween party for AFS students. Unfamiliar with the neighborhood where the party was, the boys rang the doorbell of the wrong house. When they got no answer, they started walking back to the car. The owner of the home, Rodney Pears, then opened the door armed with a .44 Magnum revolver. Hattori turned around and said, "We're here for the party." Claiming he feared for his life and that the exchange student was crazy, Pears shot Hattori at point-blank range, hitting him in the chest and killing him. It's a little extreme, don't you think?
Just a little bit.
For somebody who knocked on the wrong door. Pears and his wife then went back into their house and waited 40 minutes, for the police, who questioned him and let him go. Only when both the governor of Louisiana and the Japanese consulate got involved was Pears actually arrested, after which he was acquitted of manslaughter. He tried his best to adapt to life as an exchange student, recalls Yoshihiro's mother, Mieko. Sometimes I feel like he's still in America, his father, Masachi remarked wistfully. Someday he'll come back home, I say to myself. That's a fucked up way to go.
Hell yeah.
Vic, I got one that I think you're going to like. I really do. You like the Bloods and the Crips, don't you?
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about the Bloods and the Crips, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, on Halloween night, 1993, a group of 5 Pasadena Bloods gang members drove out to the suburbs and opened fire on trick-or-treating teenagers returning from a party, killing 3 and wounding 3 others. The gang members were soon arrested, and police determined they had fired at the wrong people. You fucking dumbasses. Randomly shooting a group of kids rather than their intended targets, members of the Crips gang. 3 Bloods were found guilty of the shootings. By the way, those Bloods still in jail to this day. And when they were convicted, they threw up gang signs and basically told everybody to fuck themselves.
Yep, sounds about right. What was that, 93?
Yeah.
That was after the truce, too. The truce was in 9 Deuce.
Should have killed them. They should have been put to death.
They should have killed each other. It didn't want to be an issue.
That's true. That's what Chicago's got right, isn't it?
Yep. They just let them kill each other.
All right, my friend. Next story. Trick or treat. Give me your money. Fort Dodge, Iowa resident Marvin Brandland and his wife were handing out candy to trick-or-treaters in 1982. That's the year of my birth. When a man wearing a mask came to their door. He said, "Trick or treat, motherfucker." No, he didn't say that part.
He better.
"Give me your money or I'll shoot." The Brandlins thought it was a Halloween prank and tried to remove the man's mask. Instead, he barged into the house and pulled out a gun, demanding that the couple give him the money they had stashed in their basement safe. Marvin made a grab for the masked man's gun, and the robber shot Marvin in the throat. He then ran away but left the mask behind. In the years that followed, Marvin's wife died, and the mask was tested for DNA evidence. As virtually nobody knew about the safe, suspicion fell on Brandlin family, and a family member did brag about committing the robbery, but there's never been enough evidence to charge him. Got some mysteries out there for Halloween, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, our next story is a Halloween mystery. Penn State grad student, and you know it's Penn State, so it's automatically fucked up. Penn State grad student Cindy Song disappeared after leaving a Halloween party on Halloween night 2001. It was a Wednesday, and Cindy and two of her girlfriends, Stacy Paik and Lisa Kim, showed up at their favorite bar dressed in costumes. According to Lisa, Cindy wore a rabbit outfit. She had bunny ears and a tail that she had bought. It was a very cute outfit. It wasn't like a sexy outfit. It was a very cute outfit. That was her thing. She was very cute. She liked to look cute. That's what that's what Lisa said. The girls partied until 2 a.m. Afterwards, they stopped their friends to play video games for a few hours and arrived home at 4 a.m. Stacy dropped Cindy off at her apartment, waved goodbye, and drove off. She never saw Cindy enter her apartment and has not seen her since. Unfortunately, neither has anyone else. Brian Sprinkle was a detective for the Ferguson Township Police Department at the time of Cindy's disappearance. It seems like she just vanished into thin air, he said. No trace of her has ever been found, and the case has taken a number of bizarre twists. And for a while, the investigation focused on a man named Hugo Marcus Solinsky. Solinsky had been arrested after 5 corpses were found in his backyard. Sounds like Principal Wilkins, Vic, from Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
A police informant linked Solinsky and another man to Cindy, claiming the duo had kidnapped, raped, and murdered her. To make things even weirder, the other man named in the kidnapping was found dead in Solinsky's backyard. More bodies have been found there, but none have been proven to be Cindy, and the case remains open. These Halloween mysteries, man, they're fucked up.
Hell yeah, it's just crazy.
Can't let somebody have a decent Halloween, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see here. Here's one, Vic. Have you ever heard the crash of Egypt Air 990?
Do what?
The crash of Egypt Air 990.
Nope.
Well, on October 31st, 1999, a co-pilot of a plane that was flying, I believe, from California to Egypt. Actually, the co-pilot had been told that due to sexual harassment and a bunch of other things, this was going to be his last flight. Well, this motherfucker apparently he waited for the captain to leave the cockpit, and then he ordered somebody else out of the room, and then he took control of the flight controls, and he started he tried to crash the plane, Vic, because he was getting fired from his job there as a pilot. And the other pilot gets in at the last second and gets it to pull up, but the plane couldn't handle the stress of it. And let's see here, 203 passengers from 7 countries were killed.
Hey, what was that?
All because this guy had a vendetta. October 31st, 1999. Apparently we had shit relations with the Egypt back then, and this didn't help. Because they tried to say that it wasn't his fault, which is bullshit.
That's out of high school.
I wasn't even out of high school yet. So, if you guys ever want more info about it, there's dramatizations and shit out there. Egypt Air Flight 990. I swear this sounds like some fucking Final Destination shit. Somebody wrecking a plane on Halloween on purpose?
That's crazy.
All right, and for my last story, as I've given about an hour of stories at this point, I feel like one more. We got to do it, Vic. We got to do the real Candyman. This is something that we've talked about for a long time, and I don't think